Good afternoon. This is Kathleen Drew, Chair of the Energy Facility Site Evaluation Committee, calling this meeting to order. Ms. Grantham, will you call the roll?
Certainly, Chair Drew. Department of Commerce.
Elizabeth Osborne, present.
Department of Ecology.
Eli Levitt, present.
Department of Fish and Wildlife. We have Nate Pamplin, present. Department of Natural Resources.
Lenny Young, present.
Utilities and Transportation Commission.
Stacey Brewster, present.
For local government and optional state agencies for the Wautoma Solar Project for Benton County, do we have Dave Sharp?
Dave Sharp, present.
Washington State Department of Transportation, Paul Gonseth.
Paul Gonseth, present.
For the Hop Hill Solar Project for Benton County, Paul Crouppen. For Carriger Solar for Klickitat County, Matt Childs.
Matt Childs, present.
For Wallula Gap for Benton County, Adam File. And for the GoldenEye Best Project for Skagit County, Robbie Eckroth. Assistant Attorney Generals, John Thompson.
Present.
Zach Packer.
Present.
And Talia Tuitt.
Present.
And are there any judges from OAH present? Moving on to FSIC Council staff. Sonia Bumpus.
Present.
Amy Hofgemeyer.
Present.
Amy Moon.
Present.
Thank you. Sarah Randolph. John Barnes.
Present.
Joanne Snarsky.
Present.
Zia Ahmed. And Patty Betts.
Present.
I'll move on to operational updates for Kittitas Valley Wind Project,
Jared Cassidy, present.
Wild Horse Wind Power Project,
Jennifer Galbraith, present.
Grays Harbor Energy Center, Chehalis Generation Facility,
Jeremy Smith, present.
Columbia Generating Station, Columbia Solar,
Thomas Cushing, present.
and Goose Prairie Solar.
Jacob Christ, present.
And is
Nelson
there-
Joe, present.
Thank you. I will mark both of you present. And is there anyone present for the Council for the Environment?
Yes, Sarah Reineveld and Yuri Curl are present.
Thank you. And I saw in chat for Wallula Gap, we have Adam File for Benton County present as well. Chair, there is a quorum for all councils.
Thank you. Before we go on to our motions for minutes and agenda, I want to give our new council member, Nate Pamplin, opportunity to introduce himself. He is going to be the new representative from the Department of Fish and Wildlife, and we will be able to thank Mike Livingston before the end of this meeting. So, Nate.
Well, thank you, Chair Drew, and it's really nice to meet everyone. Thank you so much for being patient and onboarding me as I learn this forum and all of the associated policies and projects and decisions that you all have to, or we all have to deal with. I have been with the Department of Fish and Wildlife for 18 years, in an executive role for 15 of those years. I've served as the head of our wildlife program, served as a policy director. My current title is Director of External Affairs, and I represent the director on a number of intergovernmental forums. I will do my best to serve as well as Mike Livingston has done in this role for the past 7 years, so I appreciate, again, your all's patience as I come up to speed. Thank you.
Thank you. Our proposed agenda, we have a revised agenda in the packets. Is there anyone who will move to approve or adopt that proposed agenda?
Lenny Young moves to approve the proposed agenda.
Second?
Stacy Brewster, second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The agenda is approved. Moving on to the meeting minutes of November 20th, 2024, the monthly meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Stacy Brewster, so moved.
Second?
Elizabeth Osborne, second.
Thank you. I did not find any corrections. Did anyone else? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the meeting minutes from November 20th, 2024, please say aye.
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 Opposed? The meeting minutes are approved.
Madam Chair, if I could, I would just like to abstain from the adoption of the meeting minutes as I wasn't on the council at that time.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So noted. Moving on to the Kittitas Valley Wind Project, Mr. Cassidy.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chair Drew, FSEC Counselor and staff. This is Jared Cassidy with EDP Renewables for the Kittitas Valley Wind Power Project. We had nothing non-routine to report for the period.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wild Horse Wind Power Project, Ms. Galbraith.
Thank you, Chair Drew, council members and staff. This is Jennifer Galbraith with Puget Sound Energy representing the Wild Horse Wind Facility. And I just have one update for the council. The Kittitas County Fire Marshal conducted the annual fire life and safety inspection on the 18th of November, and no violations were identified.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Moving on to Chehalis Generation Facility, Mr. Smith.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew, council members, and FSEC staff. This is Jeremy Smith, the operations manager representing the Chehalis Generation Facility. There are no non-routine items to report for this period.
Thank you. Grays Harbor Energy Center, is this, I didn't hear Mr. Sharon, is it Sarah Randolph?
Thank you, Chair Drew. Ms. Randolph has been out this week. For the record, this is Amy Hofgemeyer. The facility update is in your packet. There are no non-routine items to report.
Thank you. Columbia Solar, Mr. Cushing.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chair Drew and FSEC staff. This is Thomas Cushing for Columbia Solar. There are no non-routine updates to report.
Columbia Generating Station and WNP 1 and 4.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew, council members, FSEC staff. This is Dennis Mechinagic speaking on the behalf of Energy Northwest, Columbia Generating Station, and Washington Nuclear Projects 1 and 2. And we have nothing non-routine to report for this period.
Thank you. Goose Prairie Solar, Mr. Christ.
Yes, good afternoon, Chair Drew, FSEC council and staff. So for the record, this is Jacob Christ, Senior Project Manager on behalf of Brookfield Renewable US, providing the Goose Prairie Solar update. I'm also accompanied by Nelson from our operations team. So happy to report that on December 5th, we received, or December 4th, we received our utility sign off from BPA and started selling merchant power on December 5th. So the project has officially declared COD. And then we have officially turned it over to our operations team. Prior to that time, we finished up some availability testing. We have some capacity testing still remaining. We're waiting to the first of the year to complete that. The O&M site certificate deliverables have been received and approved by FSEC prior to the COD notice. And then we're happy to report that we had no discharge on site in the month of November. The frequent monitoring by WSP has slowed down, so our contractor has picked up weekly environmental monitoring for the site. And with that, I will turn it over to Nelson to provide the operational updates for the month of December that we've had, and then he will pick up the official operational updates starting in January for Brookfield Renewable. So thanks. Any questions before Nelson?
Any questions? Congratulations. We're
Yeah,
very
thank you.
pleased to have the project on board. Nelson?
Hello, everybody. This is Nelson Jia. I'm the asset manager at Brookfield Renewable, looking after Goose Prairie. As Jacob mentioned, we just hit operation December 5th. So since then, we've been starting to generate up until our reporting period, December 10th. We've generated approximately 550 megawatt hours. Up to today, it's about approximately 1,100 megawatt hours, peaking at about 45 megawatts so far. In terms of operational incidents or environmental risks, we have nothing to report at this time.
Thank you and congratulations to
Thank you.
your whole team. Moving on to the High Top Solar Project update. Mr. Barnes?
Thank you, Chair Drew. This is Amy Hoffmeyer again. Staff continue to work with the developer on pre-construction plans, which are just about wrapping up. There's nothing else to update at this time.
Thank you. And Austria Solar Project update, Ms. Hoffmeyer?
I apologize. That was for Austria, that we're wrapping up pre-construction
Oh.
plans. There's no update at this time for High Top Project.
Okay. Horse Heaven Wind Farm, Ms. Moon.
Good afternoon, Council Chair Drew and FSEC Council members. For the record, this is Amy Moon reporting on the Horse Heaven Wind Project. On November 1st of 2024, FSEC issued a public notice of decision by the governor notifying the public that Governor Inslee signed the Site Certification Agreement, or SCA, that was done on October 18th. The signing was done October 18th, 2024. The project proponent, Horse Heaven Wind Farm LLC, also signed the SCA, and implementation of the SCA has been initiated. The certificate holder and FSEC staff are collaborating currently on establishing the pre-operational technical advisory group, which is denoted as the PTAG, including development of the PTAG charter and outreach to prospective PTAG members per the mitigation measure Habitat 4. And in the site certification agreement, that's denoted as HAB-4, which is to establish a PTAG and a technical advisory committee. The PTAG is the first committee to be established, and that is an integral part of the final project design and is responsible for reviewing and providing technical advice on wildlife and wildlife habitat documents produced by the certificate holder, as well as reviewing and providing advice to FSEC on the final project design. The PTAG must be established at least 1 year prior to construction. Does the council have any questions?
Are there any questions for Ms. Moon?
Thank you.
Watoma Solar Project?
This is Joanne Snarsky. I'm stepping in for Lance Caputo, who is the assigned siting specialist for Watoma. On November 22nd, 2024, after council approval, the Watoma Site Certification Agreement, along with a recommendation for preemption, was forwarded to the governor's office for his review and decision. The revised Code of Washington, Chapter 80.50.100, Sub 3, provides the governor 60 days to act upon the council's decision. Governor Inslee's decision is expected before the January 22nd, 2025 deadline. To date, we have not received any requests for additional information from the governor's office. Pursuant to Washington Administrative Code 4063-30-335, a petition for reconsideration of a recommendation to the governor must be made to the director within 20 days of the service to the governor. Additionally, any party may file a response to a petition within 14 days of the date of service of the petition for reconsideration. In light of that rule, on December 12th, Benton County filed a petition for reconsideration with the FSEC office. The applicant filed a petition in response on December 17th. These documents are available to the council. I would say I could answer questions, but maybe Amy can help if there are any.
At one point, I want to make a clarification. The petition for reconsideration was on the adjudicative order, not on the council decision. Is that correct? Mr. Thompson?
This is Sonia Bumpus. For the record, Chair Drew, that's correct.
Okay. So just to clarify that the petition for reconsideration is not on the decision to the governor, but on the adjudicative order. Okay. Wanted to make that clear. Any other questions from council members? Okay, thank you. Hop Hill Solar Project, Mr. Barnes.
Thank you, Chair Drew and council members. For the record, this is John Barnes, FSEC staff for the Hop Hill application. Work is continuing with the applicant to complete studies and reports needed to make a SEPA determination. We continue to coordinate and review the application with our contractor and contracted agencies and tribal governments. Are there any questions?
Carriger Solar, Ms. Snarsky.
Thank you. Again, this is Joanne Snarsky, the siting specialist for Carriger Solar. Following Carriger Solar's submittal of their application in 2023, in addition to working with the regulatory permitting agencies, we also engaged with the Department of Agriculture. Cypress Creek has been responsive in addressing concerns identified by the Department of Agriculture regarding the loss of agricultural lands if the project is certified to move forward. In coordination with the Department of Agriculture, Carriger Solar has committed to monitoring soil characteristics throughout the duration of the project. In early December, Department of Agriculture agreed to the details of the long-term monitoring plan. These mitigation measures will be captured when Director Bumpus proceeds with the SEPA threshold determination. May I answer any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Snarsky? Thank you. Wallula Gap update, Mr. Barnes.
Thank you, Chair Drew and council members. For the record, this is John Barnes, FSEC staff for the Wallula Gap application. We continue to coordinate and review the application with our contractor, contracted agencies, and tribal governments. Are there any questions?
GoldenEye Bess, Mr. Ahmed.
It's Trevin Taylor filling in for Zia Ahmed. For the record, Zia Ahmed is the siting specialist on the GoldenEye Battery Energy Storage Project. On December 2nd, 2024, FSEC sent a second data request and is waiting for a response from the applicants. We are continuing to review the application materials with our contracted agencies. With respect to the land use consistency order, staff were made aware of errors in the public comment campaign posted for the land use consistency order last week. The public comment period was open from Wednesday, December 11th through Sunday, December 15th, but the dates on the website were incorrect, confusing to the public. Excuse me. Staff will post a new public comment period ahead of the January council meeting and recommend the council take up discussion for land use consistency at that time. There are no other updates at this time. Let me know if there are any questions.
No questions for Ms. Hofkemeyer. We had a comment period open. Did we receive comments?
We received approximately 30 comments during the campaign period. Several of them noted inconsistency between the dates on the website and the public comment period. So after some internal discussion, FSEC thought it appropriate to post a new comment period to ensure that anybody interested was able to provide comment with some better clarity on the comment period dates.
So if people have commented already, those comments will still move forward as comments on the project in addition to the other ones, so people don't need to put another comment in to repeat that comment they've already sent us. Is that true?
Correct. Any comment already submitted either to the database or to the FSEC inbox will still be filed for the action. There will just be an additional opportunity to comment, but all of the comments will be presented to the council for review together.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from council members? Okay, thank you.
Chair Drew,
Is that Mr. Levitt?
yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to check in and see, is there any reason we could not open the comment period for longer than 4 or 5 days at a time?
No, we can open the comment period for longer.
Okay, yeah, I guess I just want to be sensitive to the fact that, this is around winter holidays, winter vacation period, and also that we accidentally miscommunicated about the comment period. So it's nice to give people, a good opportunity to weigh in if they so choose.
Certainly.
Okay, the staff will implement a larger, I think they've shut down the comment period, so maybe after the first of the year, open it back up again for a longer period of time than what we had it open before. Does would that resolve your concern?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments from council members? Okay. Moving on to the other agenda item, we have a staff update. We're really pleased to have Patty Betts back with us for at least a time period to work on SEPA issues. I will allow Ms. Hofgemeyer or Ms. Betts to.
Certainly. So FSEC staff welcomes back Patty Betts, who previously was part of our staff and retired, but she has agreed to come back with us for a short time while we are in need of additional staffing.
She didn't have to twist my arm either.
Thank you. We appreciate your help and support during this time and always, and are very happy to have you back on our team. Thank you. Finally, we have a resolution number 354. I believe the council members have received a copy of it. And I will read this resolution. Commending services of Department of Fish and Wildlife Council member Mike Livingston. Whereas Mike Livingston was appointed to serve on the Washington State Energy Facility Site Evaluation Council, representing the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, effective February 1, 2018. And whereas Mike Livingston served his term with great distinction as the Fish and Wildlife Council representative until November 31st, 2024. And whereas Mike Livingston attended approximately 130 regular and special council meetings as an active listener and thoughtfully and seriously reviewed thousands of pages of documents related to SEPA environmental reviews and associated public comments. And whereas Mike Livingston ably and thoughtfully represented the interests of the citizens of the state of Washington on the council, lending his expertise in the field of protection and preservation of the state's fish and wildlife. And whereas Mike Livingston brought his technical expertise and actively participated in the council's activities during the review of applications and preparation of site certification agreements for 5 clean energy projects, including Columbia Solar, Goose Prairie, High Top, Ostria, Horse Heaven, and Watoma. I would just correct that since we now separate High Top and Ostria, that's 6 projects. Whereas Mike Livingston's participation marked several significant council milestones, including FSEC's separation from the Utilities and Transportation Commission and establishment as an independent agency, the first expedited processing of an application for the Columbia Solar Project, and consideration of the largest clean energy project, wind and solar, in the council's history with the Horse Heaven Project. And whereas Mike Livingston's participation was always characterized by notable preparation, and noble too, yes, and thoughtful questions and perspectives in adjudicative processes and council deliberations. And whereas Mike Livingston provided exemplary service on the council and meaningfully engaged with FSEC staff, fellow council members, and the chair on all council decision-making processes. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Energy Facility Site Evaluation Council hereby recognizes Mike Livingston's outstanding, unwavering, and faithful contribution to the council's siting and regulatory activities, and gratefully expresses its sincere gratitude for the commitment, dedication, and effort he has shown over the past 5 years and 10 months. Dated this 18th day of December 2024. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Eli Levitt, motion to approve.
Is there a
Lenny
second?
Young, second.
Are there any comments or discussion? Ms. Brewster?
Mike, I will miss you quite a lot. We've been partners on the council since we both started. I will probably continue to channel my inner Mike Livingston when it comes to these wildlife issues. Thank you for your service.
Any other comments? I too, as I've told you personally, will miss having you on this council. I know you will stay involved on the fish and wildlife side of issues in Eastern Washington, your full-time job. And we appreciate that, and certainly welcome Nate as well. But thank you very much. All those in favor of resolution number 354, please say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion is carried. I think that one deserves a gavel. And with that, our meeting is adjourned.